Here's your host, Bill Damiano.
Hey, it's Bill. Welcome to the Pennsylvania Rock Show. And I am getting feedback from somewhere. Okay, it disappeared. Sorry about that. It's episode 839. We just heard tracks from Rising Regina, You Rock My World, and Tony Marinaki, his song All the Answers. With me tonight, and Refestramus.
That was really close.
All right, somebody
Really
correct me.
Take that.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
So let's start with that name. And I know you said it's a really long story, so don't give us the really long version, but where'd it come from?
My mom used it to mean to rearrange yourself. So the example I always give is you go through TSA at the airport. After a second, you just have to take a few seconds to Refestramus. You know, you got your cell phone and your book bag, and you got your wallet and all that. So that's the short version.
Okay. I think when I looked it up, it said it was something about an unsealed window.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe if you were rearranging unsealed windows.
It has the like fenestra and all that sort of, it's window in it. I guess that would probably where it might come from, right?
All right. So before we get too far, why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell us what part you have in the band? It's like
Ferguson?
It's like the Brady Bunch. You can look around at each other.
Derek Ferguson. I'm the songwriter and drummer in the band. Ian?
I'm Ian Beabout. I'm the producer as well as the mixing and mastering engineer for the band and the albums.
My name is Jan Christiana. I am the bass player and lead singer, occasional guitarist, pot washer, sometimes music director, and van driver.
He Refestramus the music.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'm Diane Potter Voigtlin, and I play keyboards and sing.
Very cool. I am trying to make sure. I had an audio issue last week. It's working. Just wanted to make sure. All right, so prog rock, which we actually on Music from 412 have a prog rock show called Bonnie with a Y, which I'm going to play a commercial for later in the show. But I will put you guys in touch with her. She's actually a iHeartMedia DJ here in Pittsburgh.
That's cool.
Love it.
And I'm going to hit you right off the bat with some of my, I'm going to call them odd questions, because the way I'm going to ask it isn't going to be the way that you're used to being formatted, but it's still going to get me the same types of answers you would give a normal DJ. But before we do that, we have to do the official and unofficial build the scene questions, which probably are going to trip you up right off the bat, and I apologize.
To quote the great sage Pat Benatar, hit us with your best shot.
So the unofficial question is, what is the best pizza you've had because you are a musician?
Because so the one that you wouldn't have had if you weren't playing a gig somewhere.
Correct. Or not recording somewhere, or not traveling.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's a pretty easy answer for me, because I just went and visited these folks in Chicago. And what was that delicious pizza you fed me when I was at your place, Diane?
Uncle Jerry's.
Uncle Jerry's. Yeah, that has to be the best pizza I've ever had. And I was there for purely musical reasons.
Now, is that like the Chicago style? Like the thick? So I've been to Chicago exactly once, and I had Lou Malnati's. I think that's it's probably a chain version, but that's what I had.
Yeah. Lou's is definitely popular. In my opinion, I agree with Diane. I'm also from Chicago. Well, not originally, but I live in Chicago, and I also have to say Uncle Jerry's is the best pizza. in the Chicago area. But the best pizza I've ever had traveling for music, I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but there was a really, really great pizza place that did catering at Prague Stock, which is a big Prague festival in New Jersey. And they had this, I think it was just a one guy, that was his thing. I don't even know if he had a brick and mortar shop, but he had two things on his menu. He had meatballs, no spaghetti, no pasta, just meatballs and cheese pizza. You had the meatballs or the cheese pizza or the meatballs with the cheese pizza. And it was really, really good. So that's my answer.
Anybody else?
I'm going to copy Ian's answer. That was a really good answer. I totally forgot about that, but the pizza Diane was kind enough to get for us was delicious.
It was the business.
Yeah.
I just had it yesterday, so I'm going to say I love it. Yeah.
They don't sponsor us, by the way.
No.
See,
maybe they should.
Idea, though.
That might be what I'm trying to do, is find a sponsor, because I ask that question every show. I do have a
Guys, I know.
sponsor.
Next
I can bring
CD.
that up. So this, I can't see it all, but Mono, which is the company on this microphone, they do sponsor my show.
Oh, cool.
And this microphone they've sent me a bunch of stuff, but this microphone, my audio interface that I'm using, you'll get to see it in a little bit. It'll pop up on one of the screens, also from them. And it's podcasting and live streaming and gaming specific. So, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Oh yeah.
Sounds great.
Definitely.
There, I fit a commercial in.
Hashtag
Right,
sponsor.
so the official question is, who's your Dave Grohl? And by that, I mean, who would you want to go up on stage with and perform one of their original songs?
They have to be alive.
No. Normally, I would ask you a question about that gave you DeLorean. So that's coming later, but you can have access to the DeLorean now. Any thoughts?
Derek, Ian, yep.
I was gonna say I feel exempt from this question because I don't actually play with the group. I produce, so you
That's
could ask
fine.
me who I'd want to produce, and I'm just gonna say the Alan Parsons Project.
Okay.
I mean, they've already got a great producer. They don't need me, but it would be fun to work in that sandbox. Uh-oh.
Oh.
You got fired, dude?
Did it stop?
Was that your fire alarm?
Not here.
Okay. Weird.
It was very loud and high pitched in my earbuds, though.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Okay. So how about the three of you? What band would you want to go up on stage with and perform one of their originals? This is where I think every week I go, I should have put that Jeopardy song on a button.
I'm gonna take the simple answer here. I'll take the low-hanging fruit. For me, it would be going on stage with Yes and living out my life, doing my best Chris Squire impression, and leaving John Anderson to do the singing. I would not open my mouth near a microphone if I were on stage with them.
Although I sometimes enjoy Chris Squire's vocals more than John Anderson.
True. I mean, but John has such an iconic voice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He has such a unique voice that it's his voice, his timbre itself has reached cult status.
I
beyond the
agree
music.
with you, except that my experience is a little different because I first saw Yes songs just a few weeks ago. And what really impressed me is I always thought that John Anderson was the lead vocalist, but they were really like a three-piece frontman, like a three-prong attack, because you got Steve Howe, you got Chris Squire, you got John Anderson. Anyway, that has nothing to do with Build the Scene, but an interesting anecdote nonetheless.
It is. But I feel like I could do better justice replacing Chris Squire. At least that's
Sure.
my reasoning. Here's the real reason. It's because I just cannot do the tambourine. That's the real reason.
He had the acoustic guitar from time to time too, in fairness to Mr. Anderson. Diane, I probably would have said Van der Graaf Generator. We had the great good fortune. He actually did. David Jackson from Van der Graaf Generator joined us in the UK, so that was that was my dream fulfilled. If I were going to get back in the time capsule and perform with somebody who sadly is no longer with us, probably Procol Harum, Gary Brooker, who sadly passed away just a couple of years ago, would have that would be my other touchstone, I think.
Yeah, B.J. Wilson, great drummer.
Amazing.
I have a hunch I know what Diane's going to say.
No, I'm torn. I'm very torn. Who would I? Because for some reason I keep thinking it would be so fun to get up on stage and play in Prince's band. Like how fun would that be? Like on fire, right? It's not really prog, but
gee, I don't know. He did so much.
Right? The energy.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
Right?
And I'm regretting my answer, having heard your answer.
I would have to say either Prince or maybe Toto, because, we had the opportunity to work with Simon Phillips, and I would love to play live with him. I think it's really fun to have a really powerhouse rhythm section, which I'm lucky to have here in Refestramus. It's really great to play with Jan and Derek. They're on fire. And that's one of the things I like the most in live performances. Yeah, like a freight train.
Very cool. So we're going to take our first break. During that break, we're going to hear Refestramus Storms. Did I say it right that time?
You did.
Close?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And we're also going to hear from our...
I was going to make that joke.
Storms. And we're also going to hear from a Pittsburgh-based prog band. We Came From Space, and their song Facade. Yeah. And we will be right back. That's not that far. Yes. So we were back on episode 839 of the Pennsylvania Rock Show. We just heard from, I'm going to try it again, Refestramus and their song Storms. And We Came From Space and their song Facade. And earlier I told you we're going to get to see my mono interface. That's it right here, this little box.
I need one.
They're surprisingly, I want to say it's like, keep in mind it is a sponsor, so I didn't pay for it. I think it's like $140 for that.
No, I'm looking for a sponsorship, man.
Oh, well, listen
for that.
It's really easy. I fill out a form and then they sent me a mic. Now,
okay, let's talk after the show.
I did send them some other people to them, and a lot of them got turned down. But I don't know what they liked about mine, but I'm glad they did. They've sent me two. This is a PD 200. They also sent me a PD 100. They're both hybrid. Like this one can be XLR, USB, or wireless, and the 100 can be USB or wireless. They sent me wireless lavs, which are tiny. I don't have them out, but they're about. Hold on. they're in a case about the size of this earbud case. Maybe I'll pull them out in a little bit and show you. But so tell me that this is your MTV or VH1 moment. Give me a storyteller's version of Storms. So tell me something about the recording process, or a story that helped you come up with the song, or
we're in different sequences on everyone's monitors, I think, but I suspect it's pointing at me. Storms.
Oh, he's above me. Okay.
Yes.
So I'll tell you about the genesis of the song, no pun intended, and then Ian can tell you a little bit more about like the recording process. And I'd be really interested in hear from Jan and Diane about their process, because I think that might have been one of the first songs that we worked on together.
Yeah, it seems like it was an eternity ago.
Yeah, it's this whole concept. I remember reading someone said that if you had somebody who died who was close to you, what you'd want at the funeral would be a physicist, because they could tell you that the energy that was in their bodies transformed and was, it became things like the motion of waves, and the atoms in their body would go to feed different organisms and become things like trees and all that sort of stuff. So it's just this whole idea of conservation of energy and conservation of matter. And it's just really saying or trying to philosophize a little bit about what is one way that you can look at sort of the mystery of existence. And you could think of people as being phenomena that sort of happen over time. So we name storms like tropical storm. Aaron is my wife's named Aaron, so that's the first one.
You right now are covering a lot of what I teach.
Oh, all right, okay, fair enough. That's
cool,
great. And so that's the concept behind the song. To this day I don't know whether that song is an upper or a downer. It just sort of is. But
like downer verses and up choruses.
Yeah, exactly. But that's, like I said, that was one of the first songs we recorded, I think, together in a studio. And
that was the first weekend that we recorded in Steubenville. And if I recall, did we do that live with Derek Pavlik and Dan Bozic, who was our engineer? And because these two hadn't joined yet, we hadn't found them yet, and
we were still lost.
We were very lost at the time. So I think what Fergus and I got really obsessed with was the feel of the track, because feel is a specific concept that we hadn't really explored before, owing to the fact that we pulled all of our tracks together, married to a click track, and everybody would sort of send in their parts from their different corners of the world. And this was their first opportunity to play together. And we were really obsessed with maintaining that chug, 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 because we really liked the way that felt. It's kind of like an old, like a Motorhead or a Rush, or just some sort of like heavy rock feel. And so that was one part of it. And then when these folks joined, it's sort of like Amazing Grace. We were lost and then we were found. I remember that one thing that was really important to me was to maintain the simplicity, because Jan is a brilliant arranger, musician. Diane's a brilliant keyboardist and musician, arranger, all that stuff. But we wanted to kind of maintain the integrity of the chug, 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 chug. And I think also it was because we knew that it was going to be the opening track. And I like the idea of putting a track at the front that was fairly approachable. Like I didn't necessarily want to start people off on like a 9-minute epic. This was meant to be accessible.
Very cool.
That's very fitting because Storms was also the first tune off of Maury's Rock Boutique that we as Refestramus ever played live. And
Yes.
that would have already been a year and a half ago at the Montrose Saloon at the International Pop Overthrow, which is this phenomenal festival. I don't know if you or your listeners are familiar with it, but it is organized by the great David Bash, who travels around all over the world and finds venues and brings local and regional and even national bands into those venues and has them play a set. And when we played there back in May, what was it, May or April? Somewhere in there, 2025, we played mostly the previous records tunes that would be in Therese. But the first ever glimpse of Maury's Rock Boutique that the general public heard was also Storms. Yeah. So opening this entire era in a fitting 11.
Also, before we move on to Diane's comments, I want to mention that I think Derek's snare sound is awesome on this track. I've been listening to the record in Atmos, it's multi-channel lately, and I've really honed in on some of Derek's drumming performances, and I think he's great on this track. Anyway, sorry, Diane, go ahead.
Available on immersive audio. What's the website?
ImmersiveAudioAlbum.com. So
there you go.
If any of you folks out there are interested in 5.1 surround sound or Dolby Atmos, any kind of multi-channel music, we have prepared a Dolby Atmos and 5.1, both a mix of the album and an instrumental mix of the album, and it's available from ImmersiveAudioAlbum.com as a download for a cool $25. So back to you, Diane. That was my ad.
Well, I just feel like now is a good time to say that we will also be performing Storms on September 5th in Chapel Hill, North Carolina at Dog Day.
Hopefully we don't have any actual storms.
Right.
Except for the song Storms. That's got to be some kind of good omen.
I felt like it was a good time for me to press that button. It shows the show information.
Thank you.
So real quick, I do have their website pulled up if you're watching on the video end, and I'm just going to click and scroll real fast just to give you, the viewers, an idea of what they have going on. Looks like 3 albums.
Correct.
That's correct.
And also looks like you can listen on pretty much anywhere that you would find music: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube, Bandcamp, Deezer. I'm sure there's more. Those being the major ones. Let's see, do you have any merchandise?
We're gonna have CDs, we're gonna have records, we might have t-shirts. Big might.
We got some
is there anything else?
left.
We have some of these left.
Yes. And in fact, I think there's even in Therese t-shirts and decoupage t-shirts.
Yes.
We actually get them made at the original Maury Rock store. So that's, at least for the time being, it's got the linkage that it's actually made at the store after which the third album is named.
Very cool. All right, so we're going to take our second break, and we are going to hear from the Perishables and their song Because of You. And we're also going to hear from the Shiners, who are part of the Band Jam Grassroots Festival coming up on August 20th through the 23rd. I will be there. You should come hang out with me. That is, for those of you not in the Pittsburgh area, that's a Butler radio station, 97.7 FM. And they promote, they have a show every Sunday that is basically what I do here. And then they also take music that ends up on their show and they put it in this radio station's regular rotation. And then the bands that end up in regular rotation for that year are put into a competition to win the Grassy Award, and they give that away at the Grassroots show. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool event. It's Thursday night. It's a songwriter in the round. and then that's free. And then Friday and Saturday, they have music from like 5 p.m. to midnight. And then Saturday is like noon to midnight, and it's just a great time. And it's at a campground that has its own little natural amphitheater, which is pretty cool. But we will be right back. Hey, it's Bill. We are headed into segment number 3 of episode 839. I mentioned that I was going to show the mono mics. These are them right there. They are tiny. This is the wireless receiver. These ones are called Wave T1s. I don't believe they're available anymore, but they have Wave T5 microphones, which I use a ton. They're amazing. Those are also about $140. You can plug them into your cell phone, your computer, iPad, Android devices. They're awesome. Oh, and there's a receiver for my digital camera. So like my DSLR. They're awesome. Anyway, back to the interview, segment number 3. So let's see. Let's go with let's do the DeLorean question, just because I mentioned it and I haven't asked it yet. So you're leaving a show, and there's a DeLorean sitting outside with its door up in the air and a flux capacitor in the back. So you can go back in time and play with any band, just like Marty went back in time and played with Chuck Berry's cousin Marvin. Who do you want to go back in time and play with? Or produce?
Or see.
Yeah, we could do that too.
Well, I feel like you directed that somewhat toward me there at the end, so I'll just pick it up.
At the end,
Derek,
I did.
know I interrupted you. But I would go back and see Jethro Tull on the A Passion Play tour.
I was actually going to say I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to say exactly the same thing as Ian would say, because I was going to say I'd like to see Jethro Tull on the Passion Play tour. It's one of those legendary things that, like, and there's like clips available on YouTube.
Yeah,
really
it was
don't
never
make
filmed or
sense.
recorded,
Yeah,
except for like 8mm audience footage. Yeah.
I'd go back and see a live performance of Kate Bush.
Yeah. Because she didn't do very many.
Nope.
I will tag along either one of those answers, because I was actually also thinking Tull when that question. Yeah, I would say either of those, Kate Bush or A Passion Play. Anything really that those two artists did, as different as they are, would be amazing to see.
So believe it or not, this question came from an in-service when I was teaching social studies. And I morphed it into how I wanted to use it. But I had a teacher ask me if I could go back and witness any point in history. What would I want to witness? And my answer was I wanted to go. My nose got itchy. Why am I completely forgetting? 1969. Why can't I think of the name of that big festival?
Woodstock?
Thank you, Woodstock.
Ultima.
Listen,
Woodstock.
It wasn't a lot before I was born, but it was before I was born.
Well, if you go back, don't drink the Kool-Aid.
But yeah, so me being me, I turned it into a music question, and my answer was music. All right, so this next question, there was a band from Denton, Texas. They were called Diesel Beast, clearly a metal band. They were the first band I ever asked this question to, and I have officially named it the Diesel Beast question because their answer was, it's hard to beat. But the question is, if you could play anywhere in the world, it doesn't even have to be a normal venue, and you could play with any band, who would you want to play with and where would you want to play? And while you're thinking, Diesel Beast's answer was they wanted to play at Stonehenge with Dio.
I'd rather play the Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
I want to
So-
do the Royal Albert Hall with Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, there you go.
Derek's really thinking up there.
I'll jump in and take a total left field here and say the Village Vanguard with the Bill Evans Trio.
Oh,
Wow.
good one.
Village Vanguard with the Bill Evans Trio. That went totally over my head. What's the Village Vanguard? I hate to show
Jazz
my ignorance,
Ferguson.
but I gotta
Ferguson
know.
doesn't speak jazz.
Iconic jazz club in New York City.
Yeah. And one of the most iconic
There he is.
live records so Bill Evans was a legendary pianist, and he was a part of Miles Davis's band at one point, but before and then after Joseph Zavino, and he did a very, very iconic record live at the Village Vanguard, which has his most sort of iconic piece or arrangement of Waltz for Debbie on it. So that would be my choice.
It's really good.
Also,
Ian,
Sorry,
you
I
have
was double checking audio again because I lost you guys for a moment, and I was like, no.
Derek, I think we still have your answer to go for, right?
Oh yeah, sorry. I think Asuncion, Paraguay, because we have the song Asuncion, which is actually arguably our most popular song if you look at the Spotify stats and all that sort of stuff. I'm trying to think who would be a really good act to perform with there. And I have because I travel down there fairly regularly, and there's a place where they actually have these open air concerts, and I walk past it some evenings, and it seems to draw a really nice crowd, and the weather there is pretty pleasant in the evenings, fairly warm and all that sort of stuff. So in my mind's eye, I can see it. But another band that would actually be good for a performance like that, I'm thinking Rush.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
wrong.
Hard to mess up with Rush, right?
Hard to mess up with Rush. Yes, this is very true.
Okay, so I'm going to throw these questions at you quick now. For some reason, you hire me to drive your bus on your next tour. What music are we listening to in between tour stops?
If Mitch is in the car, it's going to be all polka.
Oh no!
I'm taking a different car.
An alternative metal.
Mitch is our sax and clarinet guy.
Yeah, and that's his two favorite things in life: polka and alternative metal, new metal.
Those are kind of on the different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
He's a pretty cool guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to be in the tour bus, but I'd be playing Frank Zappa just to drive Ferguson nuts.
Yeah.
Weasels rip my flesh.
You know what? I go along with that. I think if you're going to be going long distance between places, you might as well have something that has the depth to actually keep your interest, right? You know, you can't listen to anything that's too surface under a situation like that.
I like to play, well, number one, Frank Zappa concerts in the car because they're like 2.5, 3 hours long. But two, XTC, the band XTC, have a series of really long albums where every song is great on them. I'm thinking Oranges and Lemons. I'm thinking None Such, Apple Venus, Skylarking. That's usually what I play when I drive down to Prague Day, as I usually play. And then the other band that I love to play in the car, and I know, again, I've already given a bunch of answers, but Steely Dan, because I can sit there and listen to 10 Steely Dan records in a row.
Yeah,
they're so good.
That I can sing to the whole way, drive everybody nuts.
What is it you'd like to listen to?
Just anything I could sing along with the whole time.
I will also I will also take the nuclear option and say, just simply because if you're driving, Bill, that means I got fired from the van driver in Desault. I'm choosing John Cage on repeat. In total silence.
Einstein on the beach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's actually not even a bad answer, though. On the beach is not even a bad answer.
8 hours long.
So I was trying, when I lost my audio a moment ago, I was trying to pull up my email because I remember the email said that you guys were coming through the area, and I can't remember where, and I was trying to look it up. Anybody happen to remember where that is?
I'm thinking that must have been the Chapel Hill gig on September 5th.
Yeah, that's not in the area, though.
No.
That's a good 9 hours away from you.
Perhaps in the frazzled mind of our manager, Mr. Dick Clauswell, that seems to be... seems to me.
Depending on where you're starting, you might drive through here on your way
You
there.
might drive past
That's...
Yes.
way down.
Yes. I do think we would. So Giannis mentioned a couple times he has volunteered to take on the onerous task of driving a a 36-foot RV that we are going to be traveling in this time. And so it seems like a really great way to do touring. So this is like our maiden voyage. If this works out well, I think we would definitely be looking to do some touring, probably behind album 4 next summer.
And
what would you name, if you could give the RV a name, what would you name it?
Doris.
Doris.
Doris
why
it is.
Doris is the bus in Almost Famous.
Oh yeah,
okay.
fair. Okay. Yeah, that's.
I watched that really late at night once.
I was going to say the HMS Beagle just for jokes, but yours is way better.
I used to ask a question based on that movie. And I haven't asked it in forever, so now you're forcing my hand.
Right.
So if you were the young person trying to become the writer for Rolling Stones, and you had to pick a band that you were going to go out and interview and follow, who would you follow around?
Again, current band, or is this we still
have the DeLorean.
We still have the DeLorean. Good. That's cheating a little bit though, because then I could figure out, I could just choose a band that I know is going to get really famous.
It's true. Listen,
Beatles.
while you're thinking about it, I
Liverpool,
found a
early 60s.
DeLorean for sale while we were looking for vehicles, and my wife told me no.
Aww.
She's like,
How
your
does the
kids
price
won't
of a
fit in
DeLorean compare to a TARDIS?
that. Well, I can tell you this DeLorean was $100,000, which is why.
Okay.
But I don't know how much TARDIS is.
A TARDIS would make an excellent touring vehicle.
It would.
Got all that space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you could just put it on the stage, and you wouldn't even have to load in anywhere. You just walk out of the TARDIS with your gear.
I think wouldn't Frampton be the only that would be like because that's essentially what his backstory is, right? He was the dude who wrote the liner notes and said, hey, you know what, there's something to be said for playing this 14-minute jam song on FM radio. And so that would probably be my answer.
A good one again.
I love that movie, so that's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. And by the way, I should say, of the folks that we have on the call right now, I am the least knowledgeable about cinema, so please don't read anything into that.
I've never seen Almost Famous, so I don't know how knowledgeable I am.
I haven't seen the whole
Well,
thing.
that's your homework assignment. Go watch it. And I'm a teacher, so you have to do it.
It's fair.
Diane, did you answer that one?
No, I didn't. I don't know who would I write about. I honestly, Jan, what would you do?
I said the Beatles.
The
Beatles?
Beatles.
I said the Beatles. Yeah.
Well, that is a good
I would. I mean, a part of me wants to say Frank Zappa just because I love the Mothers, and if you get into their recording history, I think there was never two shows that were alike. Like, they were always throwing improvisations. They were bringing in special guests. Some nights Frank was in a bad mood and would end the show early. Other nights he'd be in a great mood and he'd play for 5 hours. And it would be nice to be involved with the great reissue campaign that the Zappas have done lately. But I also have started to get into the Grateful Dead a little bit. And I know that there is quite a lot of lore around their touring. And I just think that would be a really fun scene to be part of. So very different band, but Grateful Dead might be fun too.
Definitely would be fun. I'll let you know. I can't think of anybody.
I will give you that because I asked some odd questions, and I'm going to have to program the Jeopardy song on my buttons. So we have actually made it to the end. We're actually a little longer than I need, but it was fun, so I wasn't going to cut it off. I do want to thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
if you're just listening, if you're listening to the radio or the podcast, it's Refestramus, REFESTRAMUS.com. And I have one more track for you tonight. It is from the Ohio state of Ohio. From I want to say they're from. I don't want to say the state or the city just in case I mess it up. But the band is called theatrical, which is do you guys know what that word means? So it has to do with like the mixing of medicine. And the song that we're going to hear tonight is called Souvenirs, and it's actually about trying to beat a drug addiction. It's a great message.
Cool.
It has a really cool video if you guys want to check that out. With that said, we are going to head off into the evening, and make sure you join us each and every Monday night for a new interview. Next week, we have Rising Regina, which I actually recorded last week on an RV. And with that said, we will catch you next week. We've made it to the end of the show, which means it's time to give away 2 tickets to see a Drusky Entertainment show. This one happens to be Mushroom Head and Fear Factory, Wednesday, October 21st, 6 p.m. doors, $37.65 are the ticket price at Preserving in New Kensington. It also features 9 treasures. So once again, that's Mushroom Head and Fear Factory with 9 treasures, Wednesday, October 21st, 6 p.m. doors, Preserving, New Kensington, PA. The event is all ages. You can still purchase tickets for this show by going to DruskyEntertainment.com. We had 3 people sign up. You can see it spinning above my head. They are Justin Todd, Thomas Trainer, and Keith Laydig. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle 3 times, and we're going to spin and find out who is winning those tickets. And that winner is Keith Laydig. Keith, keep an eye on your email. You'll be receiving an email from me with information about the show, and then a follow-up email from Jesse